Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Planning Board regular meeting on Thursday, June 11th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. Please remember to silence your cell phones. Mr. Hart, please call the roll.
Member Rosen,
Here.
Member Brown,
Present.
Member Powell,
Present.
Member Chinovsky,
Here.
Member Axelrod,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Mendelson.
Here.
Chairperson Goldenberg.
Here, and we're all here for a change. That's very nice to see everybody. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve the agenda that has been presented?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Swearing into the public. For those giving testimony, please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn in by Mr. Hart to provide testimony for the application you are affiliated with.
By the authority vested in me as a notary of the state of Florida, do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
All right, let's go to approval of the minutes of May 9th of 2024. Are there any corrections to the minutes at all? Hearing none, is there approval? Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Unfinished business, there is none. New business, development order application number PZ 24-3, Jamie and Nissan Amway. Is that how it's pronounced? That's close enough. Application by, I apologize if I got it wrong. Application by David Nutter, B&M Marine Construction, Inc. for a special exception to install a 10,000-pound capacity boat lift in slip number 12 located on the north side of Braemar Isle condominium for the property at 1017 Grand Court. Do any board members have any ex parte communication to disclose? Hearing none, I would think it's Ms. Allen's turn to take the stage.
Okay, good morning. For the record, Ingrid Allen, Town Planner. Actually, before I get started, I just wanted to remind the board that you all did receive public comment. It was routed to you by Ms. Jacqueline DeHart on this past Monday. And I was also advised that the PowerPoint abilities are not available for this meeting, so I won't be having a PowerPoint. But for any of the residents that may be watching, please note that the packets for this particular meeting and all the item backup is available on the town website. So if the board, you probably already looked at the aerials of this particular request. They do start on page 15 of your packets. I also included some photographs of the existing conditions. You'll see in that photograph the existing floating lift that's there now. That starts on page 17. So just to repeat the request, it is to install a 10,000-pound capacity. This will be a 4-post lift in slip number 12. Now, again, the slip is located on the north side of Braemar Isle condominium. And I did note in your staff report that according to the warranty deed, the property has one parcel control number, but there are 2 parcels, right? So there's the one property at 1017 Grand Court. And if you look on page 16, that one area, you'll be able to see both parcels. Excuse me. And then the other parcel is slip number 12. So they have the same ownership. So the applicant has received FDP approval for this request for the lift. That approval starts on page 21 of your packets. I've gone ahead and referenced the file number in your staff report. And again, when you look, I often reference this, but when you look at the FDP permit, thank you, you will see that a Army Corps of Engineer permit is not required for this particular request. The property is in a zoning district, which is multifamily zoning. And as the board is aware, There are no particular marine setbacks, site setbacks for the multifamily zoning district. The request is compliant with the definition of boat lift, which again, I provided the definition in your staff report on page 9. I do indicate that the top of the lift equipment is at 7.5 feet above the existing dock, and the top of the vessel's superstructure, when lifted, is at 8.5 feet above the dock. Staff has reviewed the request. The plans that are attached in your packet, these are the 11/17 plans. Their date stamp received May 20th, 2024. So again, they are compliant with the town's code of ordinances. According to section 30-36A, the planning board, you may approve with conditions, or deny requests. This is again a special exception. And if the request is approved by the planning board, the applicant will be required to obtain a building permit from the town. And commencement of construction shall be initiated within 2 years following the date of approval by the planning board. I'm glad to address any questions that you might have. And the authorized agent, Mr. Nutter, is here as well.
Do any board members have any questions from the staff? Eileen?
Yeah. Ingrid,
Yes.
2 things. Can you just run by that, the address is up in the left corner and down here, the same address?
Yeah, it is the same address.
Yeah, what,
Right.
why is that?
Well, again, that's just how this property is. Again, we have the warranty deed that's attached. And when you look at the warranty deed, you'll see the 2 parcels.
Okay, so they just have it split.
Right. So when
Okay.
you click on, let's say you just click on slip number 12,
Yeah.
and you click on that in the Palm Beach County Property Appraiser's website, it's going to give you the 1017 Grand Court address.
Okay, that's the first question. The second question is, I don't remember a lot about our boat tours.
Okay.
But the one thing I did remember was this thing where right after this, it got very narrow where those other boat slips are to the right of it.
Mhm.
And I remember talking to about, what happens if, that it gets clogged there and people can't get through. And you had said something about, that's always subject to discretion, to allow this. And I'm just curious as to, I see that this location is across from a wider part.
Yeah.
So it may not matter, but I just remember the conversation. So,
Yeah, this area, as you can see, it is on the wider part of the canal.
Mhm.
There's other boats that are actually moored there, and there are at minimum 3 boat lifts along these individually owned parcels. We haven't had any issues with anybody being able to navigate the waterway. Again, I'm talking about boat lifts with boats on them that are currently there. We've never had any issue.
Okay.
So again, this is a 10,000 pound capacity boat lift. If the board recalls, you've had much larger
Larger.
lifts. And if you'd like to get a little bit more information about the actual capacity of the lift and scale and size, Mr. Nutter can explain. But again, we've had other boats on lifts in this area without any issue.
Okay.
Any other board members? Roger?
So slip number 12 is 1017 Grand Court. Is that related to a house across the
Yeah.
water?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So look at page 16 of your packet.
You can see it,
I've
it's
gone
the
ahead and
corner.
highlighted. See the red there on?
Yeah.
Right, that's Grand Court. That property at 1017 Grand Court not only owns 1017 Grand Court, but it also owns slip 12. All these, there's about 15 individual parcels along this northern part of Braemar Isle. They're all individually owned parcels. They don't have specifically addresses, but they all have their own parcel control number. They are individually owned. How that happened?
Aren't
That
these
is
two different communities? Like this big tower is one community and Grand Court is another community? That's in single family homes that are here?
I mean, everyone has their own parcel control number. I'm just letting you know what the Palm Beach County property records indicate and what the warranty deed indicates.
How did they get?
I'm not sure of the history as to how this happened. I'm not sure.
It's not how you
Okay.
got there. How do you get? to
How do the
this?
people get to the slip?
Where do they park? How do they get there? It doesn't look like.
Well, obviously, I believe they have to, come on to the Braemar Isles. There's a dock, there's a dock there.
They-
that's one
To
way to
interrupt you,
access it.
Ingrid,
Oh.
what they do is they walk around Grand K inland
And then they walk around the perimeter of Braemar Isle and there's a piece of dock there that they path that they can walk to get to those boats.
That home is not landlocked, right?
No. That home is on the water on the other side of the canal.
You can see it's along Grand Court. Grand Court comes out, to access the other areas in Boca Highlands.
So this is to replace what's floating out there.
Correct.
Any other questions of the staff? All right, moving on. Do we have any questions to the applicant, or does the applicant want to make a presentation? Does anybody have any, the board members have any questions of the applicant?
No.
Hearing none?
Wait, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is the person who wrote this email here?
I'm going to read that
Oh.
into the record.
I
He
just
is-
wonder.
He is
Yeah.
not.
Okay. Just curious.
Oh, it's not you.
It's not you,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I don't know
No.
who the gentleman is.
I do, and he's not here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's any members of the public who would like to comment, and I believe there was one, and shall read it into the minutes. Ms. Allen, I wish to contest the installation of boat lift in slip 12 in Braemar Isle North Marina. The boat lift tends to be an eyesore when the boat is raised as high as the second floor level of the building. This marina is a small marina and doesn't warrant these boat lifts. There are no services, provided in this marina, nor is there anyone checking to make sure the owner complies with town regulations. The floating dock is inconspicuous and at present allows a boat to remain out of the water. No need for a massive lift to be installed. Thank you for your consideration and including my objection as noted, M. Siegel, Braemar Isle Condominium. So it is put into the record. And I will
Just
then,
as a comment to Mr.
go ahead, David.
To Mr. Siegel or Ms. Siegel, Mark Siegel. Obviously that lift doesn't take it to a second floor of the building. I believe you said the highest top when it's up was 8 feet, correct?
From the
Which
top.
is certainly not the second floor of a building. And I believe the town does not respond, or the planning board does not respond
To
to
visual.
very visual situations, correct?
Well, again, there is a provision for boat lifts and, certain accessory marine structures, that there shouldn't be a reasonable, let me read it verbatim. It's a visual impact. Let
Okay.
me read it verbatim.
But
Any-
in the past, we've had no visual. So
Right.
my feeling is if the person should have been here to discuss this, but in response, I think that's our response.
Right, and we have it in the record.
Okay.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Roger.
So I understand this, that 60 feet out into the waterway is deeded? Slip is deeded. Slip
Yeah,
is deeded. It
yes.
Says it goes all the way out 60 feet. 60 feet into the waterway is deeded to this person?
You could see, right, the outline
Could be-
of that
boat
aerial
could be
map.
60 feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 We saw that. We saw those when we.
Yeah.
went on-
Yeah, we were a
pointed
little
them out.
surprised,
Yeah,
yeah.
I pointed
Went on
them
the-
out.
yeah.
It's a bizarre thing.
Yeah.
but it-
And you do remember that boat? That's good.
I do.
Yeah.
And I don't even like boats.
Yeah, I know. All right,
I
at
can
this,
just add,
go ahead.
I just
Let's
wanna read-
clarify. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the visual requirement says the mooring facilities will create a hazardous or shall not create a hazardous interference with navigation, endanger life or property, or deny the public reasonable visual
Oh.
access to public waterways. And I think there's also one about adjacent property owners.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the perpendicular docking. But yeah, so a reasonable visual.
Okay.
impact.
Okay. And at this point, if there's no other questions, the public hearing is now closed. Can I take a motion for approval, denial, or
Motion to approve.
Second.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
We have to
Yeah,
vote.
do we want to do a
Do a
roll call on that one?
Vice Chairperson Mendelson?
Yes.
Member Axelrod?
Yes.
Member Rosen?
Yes.
Member Brown? Member Powell?
Yes.
Member Janowski?
Yes.
Chairperson Goldenberg?
Yes.
Thank you.
So approved. All right, let's move to announcements. June 18th, 2024, 1:30 PM is a town commission meeting. July 9th, 2024, at 1 PM is code enforcement. July 11th, we shall meet again here at 9:30 AM for the planning board meeting. And before we adjourn, Ms. Allen, could you just clarify for us, because there have been some questions from the board as to where we stand with the accessory marine facilities with the commission?
Right, so the commission gave direction to staff to start working on the ordinance, to draft language. So staff is working on that. Hopefully the next few months, we'll have something before the commission. Most likely will come first as an introduction. That'll be something I'll discuss with the town manager or whether we'll just go forward with a first reading on it. But yeah, we're working on language based on the recommendations that the commission gave us. He decided to move forward with certain concepts, so we're going to propose the language.
All right, and at that time, if you let me know, maybe I can be there to help clarify if you need me.
Okay.
All right. So we'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Last week it was